What's up, everyone? We're going to be going to the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, don't forget to like this video, as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video, clicking that button down below. And if we get 600 likes, I will do another video for tomorrow. Now, I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 20 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak. But if you want to get 20 picks right like me, win more bets, and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,360 just yesterday. And another member who won $125 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Y Mizzle, who said, well, sometimes less is more. So shouts out to him. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below on this one and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. All right, so let's get straight into the next pick. And getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Satou Sabally. Now, this one is an interesting one for 1.5 3-pointers made, and this one actually is for more. Now, as I mentioned before, when it comes to these matchups, there is only one game in the actual, WNBA. So all the games or all the picks are going to be from the same game. Now, when we look at this, what we do also see is that Satou Sabally and New York Liberty, we've actually seen her do a great job going on the over in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, when we look at this, what we do also know is that June 12th faced off against Atlanta, had 5 3-pointers made there. June 15th faced off against Washington, had 1 3-pointer made there. June 18th faced off against Chicago, had 1 3-pointer made. Then 3 3-pointers made against Washington on June 20th. June 22nd faced off against LA and had actually 3 3-pointers made there. So really interesting to see. Now, when we also look at this, what we do also know is that Satou Sabally and New York Liberty, we have seen them do a decent job actually averaging 2.6 3-pointer makes per game. Now, when we actually look at this, we do also know that Satou Sabally and New York Liberty, they face off against the Las Vegas Aces, which we have touched on before. Now, just a quick reminder where both of these teams do lie, starting off with Liberty. Liberty do actually come in at the 5th spot in the actual WNBA power rankings. Now, they actually rank 5th, as I mentioned, but they also have rank 2nd in the Eastern Conference with 11 wins and 6 losses. A 64.7% win percentage there, 6-4 from home, 5-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So really interesting to see from them there. When we look at their matchup, which is Las Vegas Aces, Aces are actually in the other, conference, as they rank 2nd, however, in WNBA power rankings, but they also rank 2nd in the Western Conference. So Las Vegas Aces have definitely done a great job. Now, when we actually look at this, we do also know that, Las Vegas Aces have 12 wins and 4 losses. That's a 75% win percentage. 4-2 from home, 8-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. When we look at that, what we do also know is that, Satou Sabally is in a situation where we have not only just seen her go on the over multiple times, but she does face off against an Aces team that do rank when it comes to 3-point percentage allowed. They rank 12th, allowing 35.6 3-point percentage. Also, when it comes to 3-point attempts allowed, they rank 9th, allowing 25.8 3-point attempts. And then when we look at 3-point makes allowed, we see Aces rank 14th, allowing 9.2 3-point makes per game. So they do actually rank very low in all 3 categories, and that's a big reason why we do very much like the actual, over for this situation here. Now, when we look at this, we do also know that, Satou Sabally is in a situation that, she has not only just done a great job time and time again, but she has had a little bit of the hot hand. And now that she does face off against the aces who do struggle, but also have seen that, she also is in a position where she does play that forward position, and Las Vegas aces do struggle at restricting 3-point makes, 3-point attempts, and also 3-point percentage to the forward position. We should see someone like Sabally be able to go on the over for this one. Now, when we look at Satu Sabally and her last matchups against the aces, we did see on the 15th of actually June, had 30 minutes, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block there. Then we saw on the 29th, had 29 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 steals, and 0 blocks. Then we also saw on the 15th, faced off on August, had actually 30 minutes, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block there. And then on the 21st of August, had 25 minutes, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 steals, and 0 blocks there. So really, really interesting to see. Obviously, looking at that, we definitely have seen Satu Sabally do a decent job in those games. Now, when we look at the 3-pointers, however, which is what we are focusing on here, we did see her go actually on the over in 3 out of those 4 games. So she actually did do very well. As I mentioned before, definitely take it with a grain of salt, as it is a different sort of season, different team, different sort of usage rate as well for someone like Satu Sabally. So all these things being taken into consideration, I definitely would take this with a grain of salt. Now, looking at Satu Sabally and what they do have her for when it comes to, the actual pros, the pros do have her for 1.5 3-pointers made as well. So that's pretty interesting to see. Now, they have her for the over as well when it comes to the bookies. So the fact that the bookies have her for the over, I think is fantastic to see. Now, when we look at this, what we do also know is that, they are in a situation where Satu Sabally in the last 15 has actually, last 15 games actually gone on the over in 53% of these matchups. So for that reason, we do very, very much like the over for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for the over for this one for someone like Satu Sabally. We definitely see a lot of value there for someone like her to be able to go on the over. So Satu Sabally, 1.5 3-pointers made, 4 more, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Jonquel Jones. Now, as I mentioned, all the picks are from the same game. So, as I mentioned before, definitely just pick and choose the ones that you like. You don't need to chuck all of them into a parlay. Now, this one's a similar one to another pick that we did have, which was Jonquel Jones for 1.5 3-pointers made. And this one actually is for more. Now, when we look at Jonquel, we actually have seen her go on the over in 4 out of the last 5 games, which is interesting to see there. Now, when we look at this, what we do also know is that Jonquel Jones on June 12th faced off against Atlanta, had 4 3-pointers made there. Then June 15th faced off against Washington, had 3 3-pointers made. Then 3 3-pointers made against Chicago on June 18th. Then June 20th faced off against Washington, had 0 3-pointers made in that matchup. And then after that, 4 3-pointers made against LA on June 22nd. So really, really interesting to see. Obviously, looking at that, we definitely have seen her go on the over quite a lot, and has gone on the over in quite a significant amount. Now, when we look at this, we do also know that Jonquel Jones is in a situation where we also have seen her not only go on the over in 4 out of the last 5, but her average over the last 5 is also 2.8. So it's very much on the over here, which I think is fantastic to see. Now, when we look at this, we do also know that, Jonquel is in a situation where not only have we seen her, go on the over multiple times, but now New York Liberty face off against the Las Vegas Aces. Now, we have definitely touched on this matchup previously. Now, when we look at this, we do also see that New York Liberty, we have already touched on them, so I don't think I need to remind you all again. But just a quick reminder, the last 10 games, they've actually gone 8-2. So New York Liberty have definitely played very, very well. They have definitely done a great job there. And what we also do see is that they face off against an Aces team that do rank second in WNBA power rankings and second in the Western Conference. And over the last 10 games, they also have gone 8-2. So really, really interesting to see from them there. Looking at that, looking at Liberty, looking at Aces, both of these teams and where they do lie, somewhat similar. Obviously, Liberty do rank 5th in WNBA power rankings, but 2nd in the Eastern Conference. But what we do see, and we have mentioned this before, 3-point percentage wise, we actually have seen, Aces come in at the 12th spot, allowing 35.6 3-point percentage. 3-point attempts, we actually do see the Aces rank 9th, allowing 25.8 attempts per game. And then 3-point makes, we actually do see that the Aces rank 14th and allow 9.2 3-point makes per game. So really, really interesting to see from them there. Obviously, looking at that, we definitely have seen Jonquel Jones, go on the over in multiple games. And the fact that they do face off against an actual Aces team that do a pretty poor job at restricting, 3-pointer makes, 3-point attempts, and also 3-point percentages. This is a big reason why we do very much like the over for this situation here. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for that for sure. When we look at someone like also Jonquel Jones, what we do also see is that Jonquel has actually faced off against, Aces in the past. Now, this was actually from a different season, so you definitely want to just take this with a grain of salt. But what we do actually see here is that when it comes to Jonquel Jones, we saw on the 17th of May them face off against each other and actually had 30 minutes, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 steals, and 1 block there. Now, in that matchup, we did actually see our make 1 3-pointer made there. And then also on the 13th of August, actually had 33 minutes, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 steals, and 2 blocks there. So really, really interesting to see. And looking at that, we definitely have seen, Jonquel Jones actually only have 0 3-point makes there. So when we actually look at that, we do also see that, overall Jonquel Jones has actually gone on the under in both of those games. But as I mentioned before, it was a very different season. So coming into this next one, we should see a very different sort of situation here. So for that reason, I do very, very much like the actual over for this situation. And we definitely see someone like also Jonquel being able to go on the over in this situation for sure. Now, looking at Jonquel Jones, what we also do see is that when we look at what the pros do have to say, they do have her for 1.5 3-pointers made there. And in this one, what we also do see is that they also have her, favored for the over when it comes to the bookies. So bookies also have her favored for the over, which I think is fantastic to see. And it definitely does give us a lot of confidence there to like the over for this situation. Now, for someone like also Jonquel Jones, what we also have seen from her so far is that she is in a situation where we have not only just seen her, do a great job over the last couple of games, but in the last 15 games, she's only gone on the over in 46% of these matchups, so almost 50-50, very, very close. And that's why coming into this next one, we should definitely like, or we do definitely like the over for this situation. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for someone like Jonquel Jones coming into this game. We definitely do very, very much like the over for it. So Jonquel Jones, 1.5 3-pointers made, 4 more, I think is a fantastic pick. All right, so let's get straight into the next pick. And getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Chelsea Gray. So looking at Chelsea Gray, this one is a fantastic one for 7 assists, and this one actually is for less. Now, when we look at Chelsea Gray, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do actually see June 12th faced off against Portland, had 3 assists in that matchup. After that, we saw on June 14th faced off against Minnesota, also had 7 assists there, 9 assists against Dallas on June 16th. June 18th faced off against Phoenix, had 9 assists there, and then 9 assists against Golden State Valkyries on June 22nd. So really, really interesting to see from them there. Looking at that, we have definitely seen her go on the under in a couple of these games, but what we also do know, looking at someone like Chelsea Gray, is that Chelsea Gray is in a situation where her average over the last 5 is also 7.4. Now, when we look at this matchup, we do actually see that, Chelsea Gray and the Las Vegas Aces face off against New York Liberty. And looking at that, what we do also know when it comes to this matchup is that Chelsea Gray and also the Las Vegas Aces are in a position where they face off against a Liberty team that have also done very well. Now, just a quick reminder, I know we have touched on it, multiple times, but Aces, they do rank second in WNBA power rankings and second in the Western Conference. Now, they also have a record of 12 wins and 4 losses. That's a 75% win percentage. And they face off against Liberty, where Liberty rank second in the Eastern Conference, but fifth in WNBA power rankings. And they have 11 wins and 6 losses, which is a 64.7% win percentage there. Now, really, really interesting to see, because obviously looking at that, we definitely have seen that Liberty are in a position where, they have definitely done pretty well there. What we also do see is that Liberty do come in at the 10th spot when it comes to assists allowed, actually allowing 20.1 assists per game. So they do actually rank pretty low. So why do we actually like the under for this situation? And this is due to the fact that when we look more closely, what we do actually see when it comes to this matchup is that, Chelsea Gray is in a position where we have actually seen her, run that guard position, and New York Liberty actually do a fantastic job at restricting assists to the guard position there. So for that reason, I do very, very much like the actual under for this situation. And we definitely are expecting the under for someone like Chelsea Gray coming into this game. Now, Chelsea, I wouldn't say is the main player for the Aces, but she definitely is a big, big asset. And with a lot of the defensive attention, we are expecting it to definitely be on her, which can definitely affect her line greatly. So for that reason, we are definitely liking the under for this one for sure. When we look at someone like Chelsea Gray, what we also have seen from her is that Chelsea Gray, when we look at her past matchups actually against New York Liberty, we have seen them face off against each other 3 times before. Now, looking at those matchups, we see on the 17th of actually, of May, we have seen 35 minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals there, which is interesting to see. Then we also saw on the 8th of actually of July, actually had 34 minutes, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in that matchup. And then after that, we also did see her on the 13th of August, had 39 minutes, 13 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block there. So interesting to see, but she has gone on the under in all 3 games, which definitely does give us a lot of confidence to like the under for this situation here for sure. So overall, we are definitely liking the under, and we definitely are, expecting the under for this one. Now, when we look at this, we do also see when it comes to Chelsea Gray is that when we look at what the pros do have her at, they do have her for 6.5 assists. Now, looking at this, we do see that, 6.5 assists, it is a slightly different line there. And because of that, we can't really compare, what the, bookies are saying compared to our line, since it is a different line there. But what we definitely still can see, however, is that when we actually look at, the last 15 games, we've actually seen that when we adjust the line to ours, we've seen him go on the under in 54% of these matchups. So because of that, we do very, very much like the under for it. And for that reason, we are definitely liking the under for this situation. So, overall, we definitely are expecting the under for it. All signs really do point towards it. So for that reason, Chelsea Gray, 7 assists, 4 less, I think is a fantastic pick.